Walter Strickland. I joined the RAF VR, the Volunteer Reserve, in 1939 and was called to the colours in 1940. I was posted to Bircham Newton in Norfolk during this period on standby in case of invasion. Following this I was posted to Upavon in Wiltshire and then to Rudloe Manor in Bath, which was the Fighter Command headquarters. I left there in 1943, having got married in 1942. I then found myself on a Dutch boat not knowing my destination, but eventually arrived in Algiers, North Africa. I was with Fighter Command on Fighter Control, having been promoted to Sergeant. Following our arrival, aircraft under our control were involved in skirmishes with German and Italian aircraft. I was then moved along to Tunisia, continuing Fighter Control. The invasion of Italy then took my unit to Sorrento and the Battle of Salerno, where there were minefields everywhere left by the retreating Germans. A number of my colleagues were killed in the fighting in Italy as it moved forward. My unit moved to Foggia, where there were over 1,000 aircraft in the fields around. This was a very traumatic period in the ops room, being involved with briefing and debriefing of aircrews, followed by actions in Italy and Yugoslavia. Viz, one of the islands occupied by us and used as a forward base. The locals were extremely helpful. At this time I was sent to Rome to learn about German jet aircraft, which were starting to be used. Whilst in Rome, I had an audience with Pope Pius in the Vatican. The European war ended whilst I was in Italy, and I was granted 14 days leave after 3 years service abroad. I travelled across Europe to France and then home to Stoke. After my 14 days, I returned to Italy to find my unit had been posted to Palestine, where the aircraft were being used to control the pipeline to Haifa. My station was Einsheimer, close to Nazareth. That Christmas I was able to go to the Fields of the Shepherds in Bethlehem and then on to midnight service in the cathedral in Jerusalem. I also visited the pyramids in Egypt while stationed in Palestine. We were eventually demobbed in 1946, but I was in the reserve for a few more years. Whilst in Foggia on duty, a young pilot came in named Jack, who I was with at Yeovil Grammar School. He said, "What happened to Audrey Trotman?" And I said, "I married her." Some while later I was on duty when Jack was flying. He was shot down and we all thought he'd been killed. Much later I received a letter from Audrey saying that she had a card from prison camp Luft 3 Stalag from Jack, and that was the first news we had that he was alive. Audrey had cycled to Tintnall with the card for his parents. He was a prisoner for a long time until they were all released, after which he came back to Stoke.